Well, about 4 years ago, Nurse Hess retired, and we started looking for a new nurse. And we found out that Nurse Cox, who was at the high school, might be interested in making a transfer. We were really excited about that because we'd heard so many great things about her. And we are really lucky that here in Gainesville ISD that we have registered nurses at every campus because they can specifically do different things. She's very knowledgeable, but also just a very calming force. She has just a nature about it that's very, very calming. And we have several students that receive medications throughout the day. Some students are more of a special need in a special need classroom, and she has to go and visit them, as well as we have a few students that have juvenile diabetes. They come in and see her several times a day for her to check their blood sugar. She helps them calculate the carbs and make sure that they're getting the right amount of insulin throughout the day as they're eating their lunch and breakfast. One of the things that I really love about Nurse Cox is when a teacher can sense that a student may not be feeling great, but really isn't sick enough to go home. Maybe they're just having a rough time. They'll call her and ask her to come to them. And she responds immediately because she knows that's the best thing for the students to be able to stay in the classroom. The last 2 years have been an extra strain on the nurses with COVID and all the extra responsibilities that have been added to that to keep our school safe and our student and staff safe. There are certain days I don't know how she gets up and comes to work and does it because it has taken a toll. It's taken a toll on everybody in education. But she was probably here at 6:45 every day last year. And then from there it was all day long on the phone. It was looking at lists, it was calling parents, it was tracking down students that had had exposure at their home the student didn't know yet. When January rolled around last year, that now we could start giving COVID tests here on our campus and within our district, and she was one of the first nurses to learn how to do that. And keeping up with that list of students every single day and emailing the entire staff every single day of who is in quarantine and not required to come to school right now because they have to quarantine for COVID. It's just a lot more extra time and paperwork and documentation that she's having to keep up with on top of her regular duties. I'm so thankful for Nurse Cox. She is such a positive influence on our campus. Our staff and students really love her, and we appreciate all she does every day to keep us safe and healthy, but also just a positive light all the time in the halls and with our staff. And she's just a great influence, and I really appreciate her positivity.